everywhere.
Yeah.
Just find a flat piece of ground, a view, and someone with their speaker, and we are always catching vibes.
Has Binti taken you around Vizuri? Has she shown you places? Because I'm not so sure she has.
Well, I feel like I've seen some great reggae spots.
Yeah. You love reggae as well?
I do love reggae. But no, I'm very open to finding out where a girl can sit at a bar, wind her waist, and see some beautiful people.
I'm here for you.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm ready.
Sawa, let's keep it moving now. Oh, yeah, you're going to drop a piece?
Okay, yes. Okay. Yes. Right, this one I'm a bit more prepared. It's less sexy, but I think it tells a story, more about the story where I come from, I guess, or where my perspective comes from. So it's a bit long, is that all right?
That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
It's called Here, There, and Everywhere. So it reads, you came with calloused hands and quiet mouths, feet blistered from the walk between borders, left the soil that nurtured your frame for a wage of freedom on your kin's names. You became echoes in corridors, cleaning walls built to silence your voices. Vessels of labor, you turned your bodies into bridges so that others could create new horizons and dock on golden shores. You gave your backs to factories, your breath to machines, your knees to the floor, clutching rosaries made to make our dreams, forever exhausting your own ability to succeed. Nonetheless, you sang to us, carved lullabies from your grief, entrancing us with languages we were forced to forget and never to speak. Your revolt turned to poetry, embedding your ancestry without apology. Determined, you cooked with ankles that ached. You stirred history into pots, braised survival into broths, and seasoned stews with memory. You turned scarcity into community, passed down spice blends like scripture, each pinch a poem's verse, each simmer a language we could taste despite tongues that could no longer converse. You wrapped histories in banana leaves, fried joy into golden discs. You fed us the homelands, mapping the wealth of your childhood into our taste buds. Your resistance to conformity and a slight against their mockery. Your recipes of revolution never faltered. Even when you stood at the gates of progress, built by hands just like yours, bent and broken with burdens, you fought their wars for our cause, building our way from tithes of blood and autonomy, so that we could sit uniformly behind desks, soaking in textbooks that omit you from their histories in return for a chance to grasp a fraction of the power they held over you. Our gowns and caps, a trinket of a balm on your clotted sores, seeking to name the pain you've carried without complaint. You could not always say where you came from, language worn thin by colonial teeth, but you could fry it, ferment it, flavor it in vernacular and serve it on a hot plate to remind us we come from somewhere. Outcast catalysts, you bore shame like a second skin, but in kitchens and over combs, you made altars of the ordinary. When in a land that refused to honor your journey, you wove it into ritual, the oiling of scalps, the grinding of seeds, the silence at dawn before the pot boils over. In these you retold our stories, so that now we can return to the homelands you surrendered, hands upturned with stories stitched into our palm lines. We now bear tools of translation and transformation. We come not to lecture, but to listen, building you bridges back from the dreams you gifted us, back to the homelands that cradled you. Forgive us for not seeing your shackles sooner. Forgive us for thinking our freedoms of passport stamps and postcodes were not paved in your cages. We see now the real revolution in your leaving and offer you a return with reverence. We carry your names like seeds, planting them in poems, painting them on fresh walls, spicing them into dishes, and weaving them into braids that will not be forgotten. Here, there, and everywhere, we are the echoes of your sacrifice. We are the stories you are too tired to tell. A promise that the homeland and the horizon will one day hold hands not as strangers, but as kin. So yeah, that's here, there, and everywhere.
I love it. Wow, that's amazing. So I feel like you're talking about the ancestors, the people who started this thing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned outcast catalysts. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
So homeland, where do you feel like is your homeland when it comes to that perspective and how you read that poem?
Yeah, I'm definitely a girl from Chagwe. I'm from the village of Chagwe in Kampala. That's definitely my home. Yeah, I can't really, apart from anywhere my kids are, but
yeah,
that's about the only kind of idea of home that I've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
Or also a place that's like claims me as home as much as I claim it as home.
Yeah. Poetry can be very political, also vulnerable, like you're going to put your heart in your sleeve.
Yeah.
Sometimes you also just imagine worlds. How do you balance all these things?
By making an album and being here with you and talking about it and it's okay to be creative and my brain has always got stories. Like I could make up a story any time of the day, right?
Yeah.
So having a way to channel it and having a way to communicate yourself, that's it. That's what all creatives need. Like just push it out of your body in whatever way it comes out and keep doing that until it feels better and it feels right.
Yeah.
That's what I do, guys.
What's the biggest change you've seen in poetry or spoken word in East Africa over the last couple of years?
Oh, gosh. I don't know about in Kenya, but in Uganda, it's like poetry, poetry, poetry.
Yeah?
Today we went and said a poem. Every day rain, 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 rain. Every day rain. When it rains in the morning, when it rains in the evening. So I feel like we used to have a very generic understanding of how to present poetry and recite poetry. And I think in my career, because I've been in the poetry industry, let's say, for a good 15 years, and especially in Kampala, I think what's really beautiful to see is poets actually performing in their own styles, stopping to mimic other people's styles.
Yeah, like that.
And we do have poetic pardons, rhythms and stuff that we use, but it's make it your own now. And I think that's something that's fun. And I'm an evidence of that, right? Because I've combined lo-fi sounds and poetry to make my own style. And I think I'm definitely a part of that generation of change and kind of figuring ourselves out.
Yeah, I like that. So, first of all, have you got a mentor, somebody that you admire, like an icon, and you're like, I want to be like that person?
I don't really have a mentor or an icon because that sounds so bad. Because I just feel like I want to be my own icon.
No, fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel but I would say that there are I'm someone who's I respond, so Shaka Campbell, definitely a poet I respond to. I think a lot of my work is a response to that kind of level of intimacy or politics. He's an amazing poet. But also probably, not to sound cheesy, but it's I come from the school of Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
And I just feel if I'm not speaking on a level that's both articulate and interesting, in my own field, then I'm not doing that justice.
Yeah. I can tell now that you mentioned Maya Angelou, I feel like your art is so spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's similar.
But hopefully not spiritual in the way of telling people what to believe in.
Yeah. It's true. So, there are many up-and-coming poets all over East Africa, Africa as well, because we've got a bunch of listeners in the diaspora as well. And they're looking up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. What sort of advice would you give them while they're starting out and, they're hoping to make this
What advice would I give you? I think the advice I gave myself, which is the right time, not everyone's time. write your poetry, figure out what you like and what you want to sound like.
Yeah.
Don't just jump onto every person that says, oh, this is cool, like, let's do that. Like, stop, think, listen, like, figure it out and just make it.
Yeah.
And then don't really care about who's going to like it or listen, just because you, like, as a poet, it's not like being a singer where you want everyone to relate to you. Like, we're not supposed to be, you're just supposed to say it, and everyone who resonates, they're going to come to you. So, and I wouldn't necessarily say that to singers or something like that, but if you're a poet, like, make it, know how you want to make people feel. Make sure whatever you're putting out into the world exactly embodies how you want people to feel when they listen to it. And then don't think about it. Like, let people start coming. Your people will come towards you.
It's interesting you put it like that. So when you're curating your work, do you write for yourself first or for the audience first?
Oh, no, I don't write for anyone. I just write. Then I read it and I say, that's part of a story.
Yeah.
Or not. Because my album actually includes work. It's interesting. It's like Brown Skin Melting is the first poem I ever read and recited ever.
Right.
Like 17 years ago. And then that story is just unfolded now. Right? So it's not about pushing the work out. Do you want to create a story? Create that story. Like, hold those pieces and create that story. Or is it about just getting the feeling out? Well, then let your stuff out as soon as it comes, right? But yeah, hold yourself to because I don't write with anyone in mind. That's like, I've written what I've written because that's what came out. That's,
you know, I like how you're also sort in touch with your ancestry and, you know, the past migration, you know, the diaspora and that kind of thing. So and I usually ask poets this question. So when you're curating your work as an African, for example, we do know there's a lot of historical injustices that happened to our ancestors, right? So when you're going to perform these things to an audience, are you aware of the feelings that that your words could actually put in people? You know, you try not to touch on certain topics, because the truth is, for example, how Europeans talk about the Holocaust. You know, they like confronting the past. But I feel like in Africa, especially in East Africa, we're somehow eager about confronting the past, you know, especially when it comes to the arts. Do you feel like it's your responsibility to confront some of the historical injustices that happened to our ancestors?
Yes. I think, and that's the beautiful thing about not being a singer or being a poet. Like, a poet is given the freedom. All we are asked to do as poets is be a witness. And that's it. Like, I'm a witness of what I've experienced, and I'm a witness of what I see. And if you look historically, like in terms of art and culture, a poet very rarely goes to jail for being political.
It's true.
Because a poet is just a witness of the people. It's just a reflection of what's going on. If you want to know the heart of a people, listen to the poets, you know. The government cannot kill us. There's no politics that's going to dumb our voices down, because there will always be a voice of the people, right? So I don't really worry about that stuff. I mean, there was a time in Kampala with Poetry in Session where those things were like questionable, and maybe we'd get emails and asking if it was appropriate for us to host certain spaces. And our response was always just like, we're a space for young people to come and express themselves. So we don't manage what people are saying, and we're not going to criminalize them for expressing themselves. We're not here to hurt people. We're not here to harm people. We're just here to express a witness, you know. So I don't think it's my responsibility to think about what I put out in terms of, like, if it's too political or not political. I think it's my responsibility to keep myself safe and authentic to the witness of what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
100% again.
Right? Like, I'm not going to go and jump into fire and get myself in trouble, but there is a way to stay authentically in your position.
So you're a witness. I like that word, witness. So in East Africa, we've been seeing things happening in the political space and civic engagements. In your previous elections in Kampala, very bloody. We also saw whatever happened in Tanzania. Kenya, as of now, our by-elections are very bloody. But we also saw, you know, massive demonstrations last year during the Gen Z. We call them the Gen Z Maandamano, due to the finance bill. So some say there's a sort of revolution going on. That's,
so.
That is, and of course the youth of Africa and East Africa. It also happened in West Africa, by the way.
Yeah.
So they are at the forefront of whatever's happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your perception of everything that's going down in East Africa right now?
I think that actually, I would say that we look at what the young people in Kenya are doing right now as actually something to admire and look towards, right? Because you guys have actually, like, the way you guys, the Gen Z or whatever, have like come together and then actually mobilize themselves to say that we're not happy, and also that you're willing to fight for it. As Ugandans, we're really not always that willing to fight for things because we get shut down pretty quickly. So in terms of that side of politics, Ugandans are a lot more complicit, and it's a lot it's difficult to tell you how to not be that way and keep yourself safe. So I feel when we're comparing like the three, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, as Ugandans, we're a lot quieter when it comes to revolution. I don't think we're going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
But I do feel, having been here though, because we know that, we hold each other at a community level a lot harder than I've seen here.
Really? Yeah.
Whereas you guys here, it's like you've accumulated, you have this voice like lions, man. You just at the forefront of it. Mm-hmm. But the way you keep each other like on the base level of a community, it's a bit cold. Like no one really know their neighbors sometimes, or like I haven't felt the same thing like in Kampala. It's like, okay, well, it's not for being in the streets, right? But you'll always make sure your neighbors have like food is not a problem.
Oh, is it?
Like food is not the issue. Like let's help each other. So I feel like, politically it's like different. I actually think that a lot of the time, and it's everything and everywhere, your neighbor, the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
But I feel that somehow like, if we could take a little bit of the Kenyan youth's bravery.
And we can take a little bit of
you can take a little bit of our community.
But in Kenya, we're so capitalist, man. Like here, it's such an individualistic space. Everyone's somebody. We're so independent.
But yet at the same time, when you guys come together, it's fire. Like I've had so much fun just like having people just come together and like sing music together, like be in the vibe together.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other night with my poetry friends, where they were like, we were just discussing the differences between like the poetry scene here and the poetry scene there. And it's like here, there's so many more places to like be a poet. Right? Position yourself. Like I'm on radio right now, and how many times can I go on radio in Uganda on a poetry night? But there's a big poetry community. Like we love each other. If we say like, who's your poetry people? Like we know each other's gangs, we know each other's people. So it's like, even here, it's like there's so much more opportunity for poets to be successful here, to be heard, to be on radio. But there is a lack of just like, where do you all hang out? People should call in and tell me that. I'm trying to hang out with some poets, guys.
So there's a website called Eventbrite.
I think I'm on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now you just need to have a look at all the conversations happening. There's too many central locations in Nairobi.
But this is the thing.
Yeah.
Did you see there's too many? Where do all of those people just come to hang out and recite some freaking poems together, guys?
What? There's a bunch of places. Like I know there's a poetry night at the village market tonight.
Tonight?
Where? There is. I can show you. I told you this is. I blame Binti. I have to blame Binti once
Binti,
again.
You gotta link us earlier. We need to be outside.
No, but we actually do have communities as well.
I would love to. So I would say that for me, just even being here, I'm blessed that I can be on radio.
Yeah, it's true.
And like, I really want to be a part. Like, if you're listening, poetry communities, Miss Karmali would.
How long are you going to be in Nairobi for?
I'm only here until Monday.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
I'll be back. And anyone asked me to come back. I just need a reason and an excuse.
So now I'm giving you reasons. There's too many places to chill. So as we wrap up, what's the one thing that you would want to change and also not change when it comes to performance and poetry?
For me personally,
in East Africa.
East Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I would want to... Oh, gosh, there's a couple.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you two.
Okay. Two of each.
Yeah. One thing I want to change is, can we all start using the term poetry slam correctly? Can we just go online, get a book, read about what a poetry slam actually is, the point systems and how it works, right?
Yeah.
Would love that. Because I just feel like the young people of all East Africa I love, like, so sidebar, like, I love judging poetry competitions. Like, if you're
Nice.
13 to 18, like, that's my jam. These young people are saying some feelings, you know, but it's not a poetry slam, okay, guys, right? Or it's not an open mic if I can't come and sign up or something like that. So I'd love to change that, where people are actually, you know, starting to see these things that have been created in poetry and actually using them instead of, because in East Africa we have a way, like, they're fans, not funds. Like in Uganda, everyone's
Right.
like, oh, my funds. I'm like, they're your fans out to have fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like those little things would really help.
Yeah.
I think too, I feel like the poets need to start actually, like, doing something with their work. You know, there's two different types of poets. There's a poet that writes for feelings, and you can do anything you want and you always write poetry, right? And then there are people who want to perform, and if you want to perform, like, you need to get up off your ass and
Yeah.
like make a show.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just have one of you and then start thinking about how your show flows. Who are you performing this for? It's not like, poetry is not just supposed to be about everyone looking for you. It's supposed to hold space.
Right.
So make something that you can move with and say, like, you know, I have my next album is called Expressions of Grief. When it comes out, it's about grief, and it's not sad and it's not traumatizing, but it's like, we're poets. Go out and be like, who needs to hold all these Gen Z kids? Like, they need this poetry. We need to be, like, as a poet, you need to figure out who you are and why you're doing this, and take it to people. And it's not another form of music. You know, it's not about just being seen or being heard. Poetry is like a doing word. So those are the things I would change. What are the other things? The things I wouldn't change?
Yeah.
I wouldn't change any of the dope poets out there right now.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
not change a single one of them.
Right.
I think there's so much vastness from just, like, cute babes talking about, like, some stuff, like dudes be being sensitive or just be being real. I think I wouldn't change that, because I think it's probably the biggest thing I've seen in, like, opening up young people to, like, feelings. Like, I think especially young men
Yeah. They need to
don't
be more
quite
vulnerable.
often get to talk about, like,
Yeah.
their feelings and shit like that. Oh, sorry. Or just, like, things that have happened to them as young people. I think poetry is an amazing way to do that. And I've been quite surprised at some of, like, the artists or creatives or people who are, like, men. Then they come and share something at poetry in session, and you're like, okay, I see you. And it
Yeah.
kind of, like, I wouldn't change that.
Brilliant. What have you learned about yourself due to poetry over the years?
That I'm a badass.
I like
just-
that. What's badass anyway? Like what? Like you're
no,
fearless
I think,
or what?
No, I think that, I believe in fearless knowledge of self. Like, that's the fifth
Perfect.
pillar of hip hop.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're not going to pretend I didn't come from there. You know, like, I think I'm quite a bold person. Like, I say things that have to be said, and I'm quite a loud person. I get, not loud, but, like, I'm present.
Yeah.
But inside myself, probably I'm quite a hard person to get to know. And I think my poetry is probably the most me, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful, because it's like a way of putting your truest self out,
Yeah.
but then, like, keeping yourself in.
No, you know, now I'm actually going to listen to your work again now
Oh,
that I've had this
gosh.
conversation, because I want to know you visually now.
Oh my gosh.
Visually is like,
If you
well.
can get through my first
Yeah.
album, which is deep,
Yeah.
and then you can get through the second one, we could be friends.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like Jay-Z said, that, like, someone asked him, they were saying, like, would you rather a dinner or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, and so someone was asking
Or the
him
500,000,
or
yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
right? And then he was like, why would you pick the dinner with me? Like, everything is in the music.
It's true.
And so if you listen to my first album,
Cheers.
you're asking questions about rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all in there. You want to know what a ritual is? It's like, I have a poem called, like, it's like 21 degrees or whatever, but it's just basically about how you salute the morning, like,
Yeah.
when the night is leaving. Like, is this not when we go to pray if you're Muslim? Like, this is the time of prayer. It's just taking a moment to say, like, what is happening in this exact moment in time. And so, I think poetry has given me a place to, like, be myself where words could not have explained what was going on in there.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love that. Oh, and okay, final question. By the way, have you do you have details about your ancestors, like actual people? Do you know about them?
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
just curious.
Yeah. Most of them, I reckon. Not most of them, but
yeah.
But then that's the journey. Like, that's, if I find out about them, babes, you won't invite me back here to talk about my next album.
Yeah, no, I will. See, you said when are you coming back? Okay, but you tell me later on, because I'm just curious, man. I found out stuff about my ancestor, about so this guy called Justo. Mm-hmm. He actually killed somebody. And I found that to be very interesting.
I mean, was he just or was he not? You can't just be talking about it. Like, what if he killed someone for a good reason?
Yeah, no, it was for a good reason. Yeah, so
maybe you've got an ancestry of heroes, protectors.
Yeah, he was a warrior. Maybe that's why I'm Kidogo strong.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, it was actually ready to go. Yeah. Anyway, so have you got any projects coming up?
So no, this is my project coming up. So tomorrow we're going to be at Gecko Central on Gara Road.
Nice.
And it's a little venue. So if anyone is a poet or you've got your babe, you just want something tender, like just come out and have a listen. And yeah, anything to do with poetry, like I'm down.
What time is this?
Tomorrow we're opening at 7. My set is between 8, probably 8:30. But that's like strictly like at that time. And yeah.
Good stuff. So that's a listening party that Binti's been talking about.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Sure.
Easy. So what's your contact info in case somebody wants to share your story?
My gosh. So just go to Instagram, Ms_Karmali.
Yeah.
And if you want to share anything, just all listening platforms. That's it. I'm only on Instagram.
Yeah.
I've been told I need to get on TikTok, but I need someone in Kenya to explain this TikTok thing to me. Cause
so I thought you guys in Kampala, you guys are about this vibe.
No, they really are.
Yeah.
They really are. I think it's just me. It's just me.
And they should show you around TikTok.
Yeah, no, because
apparently Kampala has like a bunch of users on TikTok.
They're killing it out there, but I can't be doing dances and stuff, so I just don't know where I fit in yet.
It's true.
I don't know where I fit in.
No. So anyway, so that's funny, yeah.
But yeah, you can follow me on TikTok too. I promise I'll do better.
Yeah. All right, so you want to drop a piece before I let you go?
Oh my God.
A very short one?
What? Okay, well, because you mentioned it, let's do Cusp.
Yeah, Cusp is dope.
Because it is short and sweet and cute. Do you know what it means? I'm just asking. What does it mean to be on the cusp? Do you know what
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, to be on the cusp, it's that moment. It's like that moment just before the moment where everything like sucks up into you and you just like, oh shit, it's about to happen.
Right.
And then like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just like that little... like that sweet pain, you know?
The sweet spot when you're on the edge.
The sweet pain. The spot gets hit later, okay?
Right. Okay.
So this is Cusp. On the cusp, waiting for the storm to pass. Feel the rim of the glass dig into plump thighs. Flirting. Dancing on the needle tip. Pressing the pin into your skin to keep a straight face. Kissing nettles to keep your tongue indoors up until the last moment. So that's the cusp.
Cheers. The one, the only Ms. Karmali.
Yes.
What's that Ms about, by the way?
Ms, well, it means that I'm an unmarried older lady. Because, in the English language, you're like Miss, right?
Yeah.
And Miss is a girl. I'm not a girl. And then, like, when you're in school, an unmarried teacher is Ms., like MS.
True.
With the S.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd spice it up to be Ms.
By the way, 1986 is not old.
Trust me. Okay, man of the patriarchy, as a woman, to be in, to be my age and unmarried and, it's kind of old. I don't want to be, otherwise they're going to call me a spinster.
That's true.
I'm no one's spinster. I'm Miss Karmali.
Hey, those Kampala guys have to be intentional.
Kampala guys. I hear Nairobi guys are where I should be looking.
That's your chop, man.
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing some of that. I don't know. Where are they? They're like, that's the third place
you got to show my girl around. Hey, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
So let's keep it moving. Window Seat, Erykah Badu. And then when we come back, stories and, of course, more music. It's 18 minutes after 8.
94.4 Spice FM.